Welcome to Lounge TV. I'm Larry, and there's Tom.
Hey.
So today we are going to be installing a ceiling fan. Does it have a light too? Yeah, with a light.
Yep.
In Tom's room. As you can see, there is none up there.
No, there is not.
And what happened was when the leak happened, water came down and went right through into his fan and actually filled up the globe, which was quite dangerous because you can have electrical, but it would have probably just through the circuit breaker. So we had to take it all down. The leak is fixed now, so we don't have to worry about that. But we threw the old ceiling fan away because that water all went inside the motor and everything.
Yeah, so there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, so we're going to install a new one and show you guys how we're going to do that. Hopefully this one has as big as a base as that one did, because as you can see, nice circle on there.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you and your mother picked this out, right?
Yep, and I didn't even think about that because by the time, I think when we ordered it, we didn't even take the other fan down, so we didn't know there was a ring up there.
Yeah, but you could have measured the outside to outside of the ring. Just with
we didn't know that there was a ring on the ceiling.
Oh yeah, well.
When we ordered it.
Yeah. Well,
if we'd known that, then we would have okay, well, let's look for one that has a comparable base.
Yeah. This thing is not very sharp.
Yeah, while he does that, the funny thing about that is that it was late in the night, and I went to, I was just sitting here watching a movie online with my friends, and all of a sudden I felt water drops landing on me, but like in multiple spots. I look up and I'm like, oh no, it's like the ceiling leaking in multiple spots. Is the ceiling about to just cave in on me?
So his fan was spitting water at him.
Yeah, it was, because that's when I found out it was coming down off the ceiling fan and then going onto the blades and getting flung around like it was actual rain.
Yep. So, obviously you picked this out and you wanted dark brown wood, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the other one was.
So one of the first things you want to do in something like this is, so the Tom's electric was on because, as you can see, I put wire caps over each individual wire and then I put a little electrical tape around that so that this way they don't accidentally touch and short anything out, so he could have all his stuff going until we were ready to...
Right, because this happened a bit ago.
Yeah. So, we're waiting for a rainy day for me to go put this back.
Yeah, first to confirm that
the leak wasn't
going to continue happening.
Yeah. All right. So one of the first things you want to do is make sure that your circuit breaker is turned off, which we have. And the only reason why we have light in here right now is because it's a battery operated light in there. So.
And a little bit from outside, but
yeah.
It's a rainy day, not that much.
This LED light.
Yeah.
How about that? Very interesting. And then you get your hardware. So yeah, you want to just go into your package and open everything up, make sure everything's in here.
Get all sorts of styrofoam on my bed.
I didn't get any styrofoam on your bed.
I don't know, you might have. I saw part of it was broken. I thought maybe it was shedding. It does that.
We're just going to put all the pieces out here right now. And then this has a remote.
Maybe the batteries weren't as charged as I thought. I know some of them had more charge than others.
All right, well, we're going to have to figure out how to get this light back on. If not, we're going to have to run an extension cord out into the other room.
That is an option. I'll go check for the other batteries.
Yeah, we'll be back while I get all this stuff out.
Yeah.
So our first step is to take
inventory.
Yeah, take inventory. Make sure you have all your parts out there first. But our first step is to attach this to the junction box up there. And I cleaned the circle off there pretty good with the magic eraser.
Magic eraser, yeah.
Yeah. And so what you got to do with this is make sure your wires are down. Oh.
You already have the power off.
I just wanted to mess with you, Tom. What were you going to do? Probably nothing.
Well, I'm not going to touch you at that point.
No, you'd probably be like, hey, you all right? All right, so you can, yeah, as you can see, there's two spots right here that these are what it's screwing into.
Yep.
And then you just pick out the two spots on here that will line with it with the slot. So I'm going to start them by hand first. And you got to put a little washer on there too. Here we go. And then I'll just screw these up there. Get this as centered as you can, because as you can see, you can adjust it a little bit. It's got little rubber things on the underneath side of it too, Tom, which is actually good. It should stop the vibrations.
Yeah, really.
Because I know that was one of the things that you had, right?
With the old fan, like my really old ceiling fan, I had that. But then after we changed it to the new one, it didn't. I mean, it kind of vibrated a little bit, but not that terrible.
And these screws are like really long,
which means they're really secure, right?
Yeah, it means you gotta turn them forever. This is when I should have brought my little battery operated screwdriver in, you know?
I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
Yeah. Alright. That way, man, all your blood comes right out of your shoulder doing that.
How do you think I feel with this?
What, with the camera?
Yeah.
You should be used to that though.
I'm not tilting it way up like this.
Okay. And we're going to tighten them up. Again, don't over tighten, but don't under either. Make sure it's nice and... There we go, that's tight. That's tight, there we go. Okay, so we got the base on there. Pretty easy. Probably I would think the next step is going to be loosen all these up, but I will look at the instructions just in case. Alright. Step one. Step one? We already did step one. Huh. That's weird. I guess
well,
this is...
I guess the first one's like prep.
Yeah. So this one... Okay. Make sure the screw on E are lined up with the holes on F. Okay, so that's this. And that's attaching this to this. First you got to attach this to that. And you got to make sure with wires, because all the wires are going to go up in here, right? Yeah, because this will go up in here. This will go up in here like this, right? Because this is going to come down in here, and this is where E and F is. So this goes like that, like that. All right. Oh, you do this down here before you put it up there. That's what it is. So
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is what D's. Which one's D? They don't put the letters on them. Seriously? I hate that when they don't have, like, they have little compartments there. They should have letters for each one. These are just for, oh, that's these right here. That's D's. See? That's what they mean. That's D's here.
Sure.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to screw these down. And let me show you I'll show this over here on the chair. So this says to line up this with that hole right there. It's really the only way it can go. Right? And then those 3 screws there. And now we're just going to screw these down inside of this thing. Right here. Heck, it only looks like there's only 3, but yet there's 4 of these.
One spare?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, they usually provide like one extra piece of hardware for that, right?
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes they give you just the right amount. You know? What's this called, in the groove? Yeah. Okay. And I'll get this last one in here. And then I go along and I'm just going to make sure that these are all nice and tight. Where's it at? It's right there. Yeah, it's a shame because the light is nowhere near as bright as it was. Because of the battery, I guess, right?
Yeah, it might have overloaded the battery capacity or something.
Alright, we're good there now. Alright. And yeah, because it only has the picture only shows 3 anyway. So now we want to put all the blades on this.
So we're like setting up this whole thing before we even put it up.
Yeah, that's the idea.
The other thing, I had to like put it piece by piece up, if I remember correctly.
I don't think so. I think we put it. Did we?
We took it down piece by piece. Basically.
Well, no, I think you. See, I would think that you could put the. Yeah, did we put the blades on before we put it up there last time?
I don't think so.
I don't remember either. But this is showing that it's like you're putting the blades on.
Put the whole thing before you even get it up there.
That you put it up there, which I would think that would be harder to do, but I guess not. Because I would think, the blades are going to be kind of in my way, unless. Oh no, because it has the one slot on the side, so you're going to put this. You're going to put it there, and then. No. Huh. Because I think the last one hung sideways. You know what I mean? Like it was like this. Like it swiveled. It had a thing to swivel, so you could do the wires like this.
Oh, I think you're right.
But you know what? You can't do that with the blades on. But see, these blades get put. I'm putting the blades on after it goes up. They're all gonna be in my way. Yeah. I mean, they just go in there, and then you put them on like that. So. Mm-hmm. It's funny how it doesn't have a whole lot of words with it. It just has pictures, which is usually the way I like to do it. But it doesn't make sense to put blades on, and then they're just in your way when you got to wire it still.
Right.
Let me just I'm just going to glance through this thing.
All right, should we come back after you take a look?
Yeah. The next step is this little contraption right here. Yep. This is for his remote control, because Tom had to have a remote control.
And more just came with it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty easy, simple, easy. This is going to go, find each one that you're going to connect these to. This just clips in there. This one. And by the way, guys, there's a little hook up here to hang this on while you're doing all the wires.
Yep. So that's how you're supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. Then this goes in there, clips in there, right? Okay. So that's done. That part. Now, up in here, I got to do the wiring. And this is where it gets a little difficult. I think I'm going to go out and get my ladder so that I'm up higher doing this than down here, than working like this. These are going to actually be going. So white goes to white, black to black. This is the ground wire. There's your ground wire right there. Both of these are ground wires, so I'll be putting these both in there, putting the white with that one, and the black with the black one. And then this thing just sets up in there.
Yep.
And just make sure you don't pinch the
little antenna
right here, this little antenna there, so for your remote control. So let me go get my ladder, and then I'll be right back.
Ladder required.
Yes. Now, there's a little wire on here. You can take that little piece of wire there. You got to take that off. Same thing with this. Right?
Oh, just like little caps they put on.
Yeah, they just So I'm going to take these off to the caps that are on here that I had. There, put them down there. All right, so first I'm going to try doing the ground, because that one has 3 wires, which is going to be really hard for you to see. So what you try to do, is get them all together like that. Take your wire cap and just put that on there. And push them all in there, and just keep screwing it and turning it until it gets nice and tight. And then what I always do is just give a little tug on each one of these wires to make sure it's really in there, because sometimes it could be loose. Then you can have a problem. You can have a short, All right, and then I always use electrical tape. Some people would say that that's overkill, but not me. Yep, this one's in. But, well, that piece is no good. Luckily, I have a brand new one. I use electrical tape because it's a safety feature. This way the wire cap won't just come off from vibrations or anything else.
Yep, makes sense.
I always believe in an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Whatever that's supposed to mean, but in other words, all it's saying is that it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Why take a chance,
Especially with electricity.
Yeah. And like for something like what happened, right? water all got in here, right?
Right.
And so electrical tape would stop that water from going actually inside to where the wires are bare, right?
Yep.
And then I wrap it around the wires and then around the nut, or the opposite. You could do the opposite, that doesn't really matter. But you just want to put a nice seal around that. Okay, now the next one is going to be white to white and black to black, right? So push that one aside for right now. Sometimes when you push them aside too, can create a problem, you know? This thing's a little bit more of a pain in the neck. I probably should have clipped these afterwards. So I'm going to unclip them if I can. Let's see. There. I'll unclip them because this way I can just clip them in at the end. It'll be easier to work with it like this, you know?
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And same kind of thing. Now these wire nuts might be too big for this. I don't know. We'll see.
Which would be interesting because those are the ones that came with it, right?
Yeah. Now see, they're good. Make sure, like I said, nice and tight. Right? Nothing can come out. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap electrical tape around it. If you can. And like I said, sometimes it's a little pain, especially when the wire gets caught in the little thing like that. I've never had to do, you know, worry about a remote control thing before, you know?
Right.
Usually it's just your wire inside. I didn't have this contraption here.
In all honesty, if I could have gotten this model without the remote, I'd have been fine with it.
Yeah. There we go. Alright, so that one's done now. And last but not least, where's it at? Here it is. Black to black. See how it gets caught in that little groove right there?
Yep.
Just to irritate me? There we go. We'll tighten that all the way up. Okay, make sure that nothing's pulling out there. And again, last but not least, wrap this one up in tape too. And again, this is kind of in the way, so it's a little bit much of a pain.
Well, unless you've got a second step ladder and a second pair of hands to hold it,
Yeah,
you don't really have much of a choice.
This is a pain. This is a pain.
It's mostly a pain just because of the constant reaching.
Yeah, I feel like this got loose too. This is what's a pain, this thing right here. Because of it's so far over here. Yeah, that's too loose. See that? That's what I'm talking about.
That's a problem.
Yeah. I'm twisted here. I don't like it. I don't like the way that I don't like this thing at all. So I'm gonna try doing this for now. Putting this down inside here.
That's about what you got to do with it later anyway.
Man, that groove is a pain in the neck. Yeah, there we go. Let me try to get this out like this. It gives you a lot of room to work here, doesn't it? It's funny because it felt really tight, but it goes to show you what, you know, you really got to check to make sure that they're tight.
Mm-hmm.
There, now we got it tight. All right. And again, try doing this one more time. Like I said, it might be a pain to put this tape on, but
rather do it than wish you had later.
There we go. There we go. Now we're good. All right. All right, now I'm going to go down a step just so I can move my head around. Now I got to push these wires up in here. Up in here. like so. You want to push them all as far as you can because this thing here takes up quite a bit of room.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push them all. Probably push my finger out of joint.
Well, that's not good.
No, I know. Especially my thumb. My thumb pops out all the time. Get in there. There we go. There's that one. I'm going to get this one in there now. That's good. Okay. So now I can plug these things back in. And you can see that there's a little notch there that clips on like that.
Yep.
And then this one will clip on like so. There's a notch on here too that goes in that little groove. There we go. Okay. And it said to make sure that this antenna is not pinched in there. Right?
Yep.
And that's how it's going to go, just like that. Now, the next step is back all these screws out because you don't want them, you got to take them out anyway because they got to go through this side.
Yeah.
So try to take them all out and not fall on the ground. So after I get done this, I'll show you the next step.
All right.
Ooh, almost dropped that one.
Already got them loosened.
Yep, so now we just take it off the hook there. And then there's these two screws. Got to make sure that you get it in that slot and then turn it so that it's caught on there, just like that.
Yep.
Okay, and then there's that screw up here I can put in because I can see it right here. I'm gonna have to go down a step though. And and whatever you do, don't tighten them all the way. You're just putting it in right now to hold it there because I might have to move it a little tiny bit, you know.
Yep.
So I won't tighten it all the way. I'll just put it in like that. Then go around to the other side, which I'm gonna have to move my ladder for. Put that one in. Because Tom has so much room in his room.
Yeah.
Why did you get the big desk?
Well, when it was completely in the corner, it was fine.
Alright, so get this. Ooh. Try not to drop them. They're little tiny screws too. Alright, once you get these in there, you can go ahead and tighten that, and then you can tighten all four of them. And then I'll tighten the other two, and then we'll get to the next step. So that's all nice and sturdy now, right?
Yep.
So now you want to put the blades on. And so we need all these little screws that came with it, your screwdriver, and your fan blades. Guys, I want to talk about this ladder for a second. If you don't have one of these in your house, you need one. These work, I mean, they have little grooves in there that you can put stuff like that so you don't, you got a little tray here, got a little tray down here that has a clump of, what you call it, mud from working over in Joe's house. Got a spot for your hammer over here. So I love this thing. It comes in so handy. It's a Husky. I believe I got it at Lowe's. Very sturdy ladder too. Just pushing that out there. Hey, if we can find it, it'll be in the affiliated thing, right?
Yep.
Tom? All right, so each blade here, as you can see, it's got 3 holes in it.
Yep, and it's also color different on either side. One is black,
you could actually go
you're
black.
doing it upside down.
No, I was going to say no. I'm just going to say, can you go black side? You could go black side if you wanted it all black or brown.
Yep, I prefer the wood print because I like the extra visual texture.
Okay. All right, so yeah, so we're going to go like this. I'm going to try to start this by hand because
might as well, right?
It's upside down. You know, I don't want it to fall. So I'm just going to turn it a little bit. There we go. So I can get the next one. Make sure the holes are lined up. There we go. And 3, and then you're going to continue to do this for each blade. Now, once you get it all the way to the spot, make sure you tighten them. You want them nice and tight.
Yep.
Because you don't want that to get loose.
Not at all.
Tom doesn't want to be working on his computer and or live streaming and a blade come flying at his head.
That'd be bad. That'd be bad.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
All right, yeah, and then you're just going to continue around and do, what is there? This is a 5-bladed flame. Five-bladed fan. Flame. And I'll just continue to do this and go to the next step. Okay, so I found out something, guys, on the last one when I went to put the screw in and it fell on the ground when I went to tighten it, that you don't even need to put a screw in this at first, because that slot holds it in.
Well, there you go.
It makes it really easy to put the screws in. I'm a fan. Get it?
Oh, I get it.
I'm Dad. I'm here all day, folks. And again, this is pretty easy. This is probably the easiest I think fan blades ever went on. Because I know the other one that you had, Tom, was a nightmare.
It was a lot more of a pain, yeah.
I think I tightened that screw up too much. The holes didn't line up.
We'll come back for putting the lights on. Fan blades are in.
Yes, and the next step is there's 3 screws up here. You want to take these off. Because you gotta put this is the light thing, and it's an LED light. Tom didn't know that it was, he knew it was LED, but he thought it was the bulb.
Because I figured it's just what it would have been for a ceiling light.
Yeah, and the problem with this is that what happens when this whole thing goes, you know? I guess you'd have to find some type of replacement for it, or else you'd have to replace the whole fan, which would be ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, at least it wasn't a very expensive ceiling fan in case that does happen. But, I mean, LEDs usually tend to last a long time.
Right.
Usually.
So right now, I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to try to plug it in. I guess maybe I should put the screws in first, huh?
Securing is probably a good idea.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if I can get my hand in there or not. This is not going to be very easy, I'll tell you that. It's like you need 3 hands. So I'm going to try to get my screw on here. Like that. That's how I like to do it, right there. Then I'm going to put this like this. And there we go. And find this hole right here. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these. Let's see, where's the other one? Right here. Yep. That was the easy way to do it. Then number 3. And then I got to go around and tighten them all. Pretty easy, Tom.
Overall.
And the nice thing is I was telling Tom that, you know, anything ever happens to me, you know, I know that I could easily just sit there and tell him what to do and everything. But because we want to document it, it's better for him on the camera and me doing this. And that he always has these films to go back and look to see how did Dad do it. But I think for something like this, all you got to do is follow the directions.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple.
This is one of those things where it's,
I feel like this was a lot easier than your last one.
I agree. It feels like less parts.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and plug it in as best as I can here. It's not the easiest thing ever. Hold it. Is that the right way? Make sure you're doing it the right way. Seems to me like the clip should be on the bottom, doesn't it?
The clip would be how you would take it off.
Let me see. Yeah, the clip's on the bottom. So it's got to go like that. Probably been a little easier to do this before I, right?
Yeah, there's probably no good way to do it.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy. Now the globe is the last thing, and this globe just slides up, Tom, like this, and you turn it. Yeah. try to figure out which way it goes here.
Well, I can see like a lump on the far side from where I am.
Well, your head, yeah, there's one over here too, and there's one over here. So I would imagine you just got to find where the slots are for that, right? Come on. Where is the slot? That looks like the slot right there, right? Yeah, that's it. That's it. There we go. Now we go turn the power on and see if it works. All right, so I just turned the power on. Let's see. Does it turn on with the light switch? No. How about, oh.
It does.
That's a little delay.
And the fan's already
on. Fan. Wow, that's a, I'm sorry, I can't see. My retina's burnt. That throws down some air, doesn't it?
It does. And see, I've also turned down.
Can you turn down the light? Did you turn it down?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you can leave this on and just use your remote now.
Yeah.
Or you can turn it on and off with that. It's either one, right?
Yep.
All right. There you go, guys. We can turn it off now. Well, you can leave the light on. Just turn the fan off.
I hit the power button. Although I think I might have hit power and fan because it's got like a rotation button underneath of it.
Yeah, you'll have to learn a remote.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a white light and I saw a yellow light. That's yellow.
Yeah, it's got 3 different settings. It's got that.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like a whiter light and.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So anyway, guys, there it is. But what did that take us? However long this video was, probably about 5 minutes longer.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10 longer than this video. So pretty easy. Tom got this from Amazon, so it won't be in the affiliate thing, but I don't think you need it there.
Yeah.
But the ladder should be, because...
Yeah, if we can find it.
Oh, it will be. It'll be at Lowe's.
Probably.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up, relax. We'll meet you at the lounge.